we should now be live. Give me one moment to get some music started for us in the background. Let me know if anything needs to be turned up or down, but I think everything looks okay so far. Lovely. Hello, Brenson. Hello, chat. I'm doing all right, more or less. All right. How are you, Chad? Righto, Berenson. I didn't know if her stream had ended yet or not, because I thought she was not doing a full one today. Excellent. So, let me get to the gist of what we're doing today. I really don't know whether I want to get Evolution 3 or not. No fake Jeopardy here. I haven't ordered it. It's not sitting in my Steam. This is not faked in any way. I'm on the fence. So I want you guys to help me figure it out. The poll is there just so I can get a general gist of what people's opinions are. But this discussion and this mind map that we're going to create is much more important to me. So I would like this to be a good, proper debate between us all. And obviously at the end of it, if I do decide to get it, you know, people have to accept that if I don't like something, I'm going to criticize it. I'm going to be 100% fair to it like I am every other game. If I review it and I hate it, I'm going to say it. So if you are voting and suggesting I do get it, accept the fact that I might have some harsh things to say. Anyway, so first thing that I want to do is go over the 5 things that I said Evolution 3 would have to do to make me buy it about a year ago. These were the 5 things. Bridges and tunnels. That's a big fat no, isn't it? They didn't do bridges and tunnels. With modular building, they didn't do it. A focus on management. I'm going to give them half marks for this because they obviously have tried with the engineer who goes around and does stuff, and I suppose what I mean by tunnels in this case is like you can do it on Planet Zoo. Like where you can dig tunnels through terrain as opposed to just build tunnels from rocks, which technically we can already do on Evolution 2. It's not quite what I meant though, King Giga. Minimum animations, including walking pterosaurs. Again, they get half marks for that. We do actually have walking pterosaurs now, but in other areas, animations didn't really work. James Top Boy, we do know what the management is going to basically be. It's like Evolution 2 with the scientist system. I think it's been revealed in somewhere. I think it might have shown up on one of the YouTubers' videos. So there's basically the same scientist system. Distinct lagoon improvements. Dismal failure. In my opinion, lagoons have gone backwards. Actually, I'm going to put an extra negative there because they've gone backwards in my opinion. And we've lost so many good species. They've made no attempt to improve them. Apart from the modular building, which is sort of its own thing. James Topboy, yeah, you still place down shops and amenities like you normally do. You just have, instead of one type of amenity, you have one type of food, one type of shopping, one type of drinks now. Higher quality and optimization. Difficult to know. I don't think we can really answer that yet. even all of the reviews I've seen so far haven't really touched on this fact, so I don't think we can know that yet. So that's not very good, is it? 2 negatives, 2 halves. Okay, so we've got positive things over here, negative things over here, neutral things over here. So let's, instead of like separating it into what people think are good and what people think are bad, I think I would rather people give suggestions and then I'll pick where I think it should go. So King Giga, better lighting, though not that much. I think what we'll put in it, because it's not, it does look slightly better than JWE3. Definitely in terms of lighting. I don't think that's an overall amazing thing. It looks slightly better. Smaug was also talking about that. The animations and behaviors do seem to be the same, so I'm going to put that in negative here. Combat animations especially. Many other animations the same. Also, I'm going to put under here... Well, actually, I'm going to make it a neutral point. Lots of copy-pasting still going on in terms... In terms of animation. I really don't like how much copy-pasting there is. A negative is the loss of insectivores on the Lagoon Rock platform. Yeah, I'm going to put... Well, actually, it's kind of, you know, loss of insect feeder means no great changes to dino diets. Swimming dinosaurs. I think that's a positive. I'm going to put deep water as a general positive anyway. We can use for fences. Also, some, I'm going to put that in big capitals actually, some swimming dinos. By the way, I will obviously have to try and keep up with chat. But obviously, if I miss something, please do put it in chat. I don't mind people repeating stuff. Campaign. I am glad that we have a campaign. So let's put that in here. A long-term one. That is a big positive. In fact, I'm going to put that in bright green. I am one of these people that thinks a good single-player campaign is necessary for a good single-player game. So that's a real positive for me. Deep water to me is very lacking, says Chad. I'm curious as to why the diversity of the roster. I don't think it's straight up bad, but I am disappointed with it. So I'm going to put it in neutral. One thing I will say under this, however, is will be better once we get all the freebies. Once we have those 19 extras, it will be better for sure. Can't change the water height. Pisses me damn off. What, for the lagoons or normal water height there, Onyx? Terrain tools and scenery pieces says BC Gaming. So terrain tools, again, I'm going to put it in bright green. I do agree that the terrain tools are a big improvement. And I suppose what we can also add to that is waterfalls. Because, God, good grief, it's about time we had them. The map generator seems like it could be a positive, but the lack of biomes isn't great in it either. That's a good point, Cairo. I'm going to put the island generator in neutral because it needs more work. And we won't really know until they do or don't do it. The new dinos look amazing though, even though there are a lack of them. Okay, so this is something I actually want to talk. So if everyone just have a pause briefly. Let's talk about this one together. So, the new dinosaurs. Not the dinosaur roster as a whole, but the new, what is it, 5? 6? Patagotitan, Guanlong, Protoceratops, Psittacosaurus, Lokiceratops, and that discount Tapejara. So, what are people's thoughts on the brand new animals coming to the game at this point on launch? Oh, Ornithomimus, thank you BC Gaming. Lack of diversity, awful. Kairajara is less good than Tapejara. They look amazing. I'd rather eat a bowl of cockroaches. Lack of dinosaurs named after characters from mythology. Meh. Okay, let's go through them. Patagotitan is a replacement for Alamosaurus. It's a straight up replacement. Does it look better than the Alamosaurus? Arguably, yes. Ornithomimus has made Archaeornithomimus completely pointless. I do like the Ornithomimus. Lokiceratops, probably the best ceratopsian in the game. Like, thinking about all of them, I think the Lokiceratops is now the best, just in terms of patterns and colours and how it looks. Protoceratops should have been in the game years ago. Should have been one of those animals that Evolution 2 started with, frankly. Glad it's here, but again, the fact that smaller dinosaurs don't have unique viewing structures and stuff does kind of lessen it. Kairajara, completely pointless. I'm not even going to talk about the wannabe Tapejara. And I'm missing one, aren't I? Psittacosaurus, again, nice to have it at last, but is a tiny dinosaur, so still suffers from the problems that tiny dinosaurs have. So, Guanlong looks great, but it is the only carnivore of the bunch, and we don't have anything for the lagoons that's new. So, I'm going to put the new species in neutral. Because I only like 2 or 3 of them, and I think the rest are problems. Petting zoo attraction. What do we think? I think that's a positive. And I think the way they chose to do it is a really good way, actually. Real Smaug. I'm going to remove that. Don't spam, please. I thought the petting zoo, if it was going to come, would just be like the old aviary from Jurassic World Evolution 1. Where it was just like pre-scripted animations from pre-scripted animals. So the fact that it's like something you can attach to the fence, I think it's a really good way of doing it. So I definitely think that's a positive. Dinosaur breeding. Okay, this is one of the big new features. Where are we going to put dinosaur breeding and babies? Let's create the thing for it, and we'll decide where. Babies and breeding. So I think it's implemented okay, but the fact that the breeding isn't automatic and you still have to, you know, you select the male and females that you want to breed, and the fact that you still have to place down these nests and everything else, it's still micromanagement, which I think is not the way I would have done it. And we don't have seamless growth like we do in Prehistoric Kingdom. They can breed automatically, we can just help. Oh, I see. But still, like, the fact that we have to put down a nest or they won't do it at all, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't really like Prehistoric Kingdom doing it, to be honest. I think it does add some interesting elements to park management, but I don't think it really adds too much to it. And they only have one animation, the babies, so I'm not sure. We might come back to some of these, but for now I'm going to put it in neutral. I think it's one of those systems that it's only after playing the game for a while and dealing with the system for a while that you might know which one it is. I think at the moment I'm going to put it as a neutral thing. The terrain tools, yeah, we've already got those. H, mostly H, a few G's in there. You're the most genuine YouTuber on these games, and you're generally harsher and more real than the others, so you not covering and playing it would be a big loss for me in the community, says something. I appreciate that, but at the same time, you know, if I buy the game, something I spoke to Evolution Square about this earlier, and something she said was you shouldn't buy it on the basis of doing YouTube content on it, because then you won't create anything good. You should get it if you definitely feel one way or the other. Which is another reason why I'm doing this, because I brought Jurassic World Evolution 2 only because of the YouTube channel, and I think that was the wrong choice. So I want to decide in a better way. No improvements to the lagoons. Yeah, this is a enormous downer for me. In fact, it's so bad, I'm going to make this a serious downer. The fact that the system was so bare bones in Evolution 2, and it's worse for Evolution 3, is just demonstrative of me that Frontier don't listen to the community. Because we have been screaming for lagoon improvements since Evolution 2 came out, and they've done nothing. Being able to modular build in them now isn't that much of an improvement. The maps are generally the best part. The variety is amazing. I can't say anything on the map something because I've only seen a few of them. I haven't seen all of them. So I can't judge that at the present time. No micro dino management, e.g. cleaning up poo and managing animal enrichment. See, I wanted there to be animal enrichment, because animal enrichment is important for animals in captivity. It's a very basic point. And the aviaries, yeah, No major aviary upgrades either. No guest upgrades. No path viewing. These are all really big ones to me, especially path viewing. You know, still no path viewing. In my opinion, you can't put not having something in the negative points as if you stay in Jurassic World Evolution 2, you'll have them. Anyways, true, but we're judging Evolution 3 here, Smaug. No staff improvements. Yeah, I'm actually going to make this one a bright red as well, because it's a big one for me. No real management again. Same scientist system. I mean, I've talked about the scientist system. It was one of those features that people hated, and they've made no changes, so... For positives, I'd put the new pass and ability to recolor. Yeah, I'm just going to expanded paths, recoloring. It is a positive, you know. I can imagine Evo is going to create some amazing path art with it. Dinosaur AI has not been improved. Yeah, so combat animations, many other animations stay the same. I'm going to leave that as Dino AI in general. Only a few Jurassic World Evolution 2 maps returning, but no Jurassic World Evolution 1 maps. That I'm going to put as a neutral. Some maps return, but also no JWE3 maps. Also, odd choices for returning map. Like, I am very surprised that Southwest USA is a returning map, given how much people hate it. The Frontier Workshop. I'm going to put this as, like, kind of halfway over, because I have problems, and I think it's both. There are both good things and bad things about it. We will, and some things we won't know until, you know, until the game is substantially older than what it is now. You know, for the Frontier Workshop to be a good feature, it needs to be reliable, it needs to be well moderated, and we don't want it to be, you know, commonly crashing. We don't want the servers to be going down all the time. We don't want it to be full of rubbish. We want it to be moderated. So we'll have to wait for time to tell about the workshop. Hatchery skin preview is a positive. That, I will say, is a positive. I don't see why it took them so long to do it, but thank fuck we finally have skin preview in the hatchery. I could see Jurassic World Evolution 1 maps returning with DLCs. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that. In fact, I mean, I think something Evolution 3 needs to do is diversify what the DLC offerings are. You know, just having animals and just having expansions, I would kind of like more. Like, give us some map DLCs, give us some skin DLCs, give us some building pieces DLCs. Let's talk about the modular building, since Shawiz has just mentioned it. So, modular building. Modular building. What are your folks' views on modular building? As a concept, let's not even think about Evolution 3 here. Let's do, as a concept, what do people think about modular building? Are they generally against it or for it? It's okay. I never felt the need for it. Depending on person, modular building is a mixed bag. Basti says he loves modular building. Give it to me now, seems to... We never needed it, but it's a good thing overall. Okay, so here's the next question then. Has Jurassic World Evolution 3 implemented it in a good way? Now, from my admittedly short half-an-hour play experience on that Saturday, I don't think they have. You know, those menus that are absolutely full, so you have to scroll for hours to find stuff. It's not really the same as Prehistoric Kingdom or Planet Zoo, because they've implemented it in a very clunky method. But they could change that. That could be something that is improved quite easily. Do I think modular building was necessary? I personally don't. I think one of Evolution's key advantages was its accessibility to everybody. By making a modular building system, I think they've removed some of that. Yes, it is partly optional. I am only going to say partly, because in terms of the lagoon pieces, you're going to have to make them all yourself, because they've removed them all. For me personally, it's a half and half. I'm not pro modular, I'm not anti-modular. I need to learn modular building more, really, to decide on it. I'm sure the workshop will have talented people, Zhao, but the problem for me about the workshop is people have to make good stuff, so that's one thing. The bad stuff has to be moderated, that's the second thing. People then have to build stuff for the entire duration of Evolution 3's lifespan. That's the third thing. And the fourth thing is new updates have to avoid breaking those modular builds. Because what we don't want is every time they do an update to the game, the modular buildings all have to be updated for some reason. For me, one of the biggest unknowns about this game is how long the architects of the Planet Zoo and Planet Prehistoric Kingdom community are going to stick with it and build stuff. You know, people like Miri and all the rest of them, they are going to come to the game, yes, but are they going to be there for a prolonged period of time? Are they going to stay for years? Or are they going to stay for a couple of months and then go back to Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster, where they actually are? It's too unknown. Too unknown. We won't know really truly if the workshop's a success until the game is, I would think, probably a year or two old. Plus, like other people have pointed out, you have to have an internet connection at all times to access the workshop, rather than the way Steam does it, where you just put it on the Steam workshop and you download it to your PC and then you always have it. And of course, if Frontier went bust, I'm not saying they will, but they're not financially in an amazing position. If they went bust, there goes the workshop, because it's not owned by, you know, it's not on Steam. And eventually they will shut down the servers for the older games, so again, we'll lose that workshop after a set number of years anyway. You know, probably a long time, you know, decade maybe, but that is a factor. Can we change the neutral to a can't determine yet? I can add it. So let's say neutral or can't determine yet. That's a good choice, James. Also, if you don't have specific pieces, then the blueprint will be broken. Again, we don't know. We'll have to test that. Yeah, the I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it Kairujara? Something like that? Eating fish again. I mean, it's fucking stupid. Lack of depth and complexity in dinosaur behavior is a huge letdown to me. Also, they didn't add old dinosaur models and skins. Yeah, animal behaviors not really improved. Babies only have one animation, etc. That's a big one for me, and also I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it as a negative. It's animal enrichment. I'm sorry, but a game like this, when you're running animals in captivity, there should be a focus on making sure these animals' lives are good, which means you have to have animal enrichment. Just because we happen to be looking after dinosaurs doesn't mean I think you can ignore the fact that you are basically looking after animals in a captivity environment. It's a zoo, and zoos these days, you know, it's a contentious topic. To not have any form of animal enrichment at all, just like not even some small things, just nah. PC and PK modular games in general have very loyal player bases, so I imagine the architects will stay around. Okay, Gajira, but what I'm wondering here is, if you are, say, someone who made your mark on YouTube doing modular building for Planet Zoo, and you've been doing that game for 6 years, are you going to come across to Evolution 3 and spend 6 years on Evolution 3? Or are you more likely going to come over to Evolution 3, see what it's like for a bit, and then inevitably go back to to Planet Zoo, because Planet Zoo is where you've made your name and your mark? I'm not a Jurassic World Evolution YouTuber, Limonky. It just happens to be one of the games that I focus on. This is a general gaming YouTube channel, not an Evolution one. That's why that isn't on any of these points. I'm an ant enthusiast and we don't have titanium. I mean, something like terrariums would always be cool to have. I'm surprised we don't have it. Jurassic World 3 modular won't be built better than PZ or PK. Okay, sexual dimorphism is immediately a neutral for me. Some of the dimorphisms are really good. Some of them I think are absolutely pants. I think they had a great idea, but they have implemented it in a kind of a bad way. There are some I think are really good. Chasmosaurus, for example, really good, like it. And then there are some where I'm thinking, what the hell was the point? Like, most of the carnivores. I'm very disappointed with the sexual dimorphism in a lot of the species. Low fences are neutral for me. I wish they worked like and not the system. Well, I mean, we don't have any placeable low fencing. You have to build it in the modular building style. No low fences based on spline system. If people don't know, spline system is like what the game uses for the paths and the fencing now, where it's, you know, it's always connected. When you're creating it, it's that always connected, it generates itself automatically. There are no low fences that do that. You have to do it in a modular way if you want to do it at all. Rex sexual dimorphism is crap. Yeah, I mean, I think many people have said the argument is, oh, well, most dinosaur species probably didn't have that many big distinctions. And I'm like, okay, true, but this is not supposed to be paleontologically accurate. So could we not have some dimorphisms that were a little bit more interesting? Frontier to Fletcher. Are we annoyed to you? we annoy you? Yes. Yeah, the female Sinoceratops looks very odd. What about pterosaurs being able to walk? I think we've put that in. We already had this as half complete walking pterosaurs, but we'll put it in again, and I will put it in as a good thing on its own. However, from what I've heard from some people who've had the game already, thanks to PlayStation, the pterosaurs walking, they don't actually walk that often. A lot of people have been saying they fly way too much. Still. Hello, Luna. The fuck you mean, PlayStation? Well, PlayStation, people who got the physical copy, PlayStation gave it out for early, King Giga. Did you not know that people had already been playing it, thanks to PlayStation? This means small fences are unbreakable. Great gameplay. Yeah. What I've heard is the small ones walk a lot, but the bigger ones don't. See, that's almost the opposite way around that it should be, isn't it? I would love to see you suggest how Evolution 3 could be even better. Well, that would be if I do decide to get it. And at the moment, this is all pretty even so far. Hello, Mick Ninja Hack. And hello, AESR. Positive point. Okay, we have to put these good things in. Actually, I'm not going to say it's a green. I'm going to say it's a normal one. Balloon tour. Nice to see Frontier catch up to a game from 20 years ago. And the river tour as well, obviously, or canoe tour. I think those are both positive points, you know. New attractions are good. We desperately needed new attractions. We really, really did. Hello, Righteous Ham. Oh, Jesus, we got a lot of people in this today. A lot more than normal. This is probably a good time for me to suggest to people to like the stream. It's helpful for the algorithm, and to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Anyway, carrying on. The guests are a negative. Yeah, already put the guests in there. No guests. Boat tour, yep. What would you think of the game if you didn't play with mods? This is... Oh, right, BC. Let's actually talk about this right now, because this is an interesting question. So obviously for Jurassic World Evolution 2, I modded after about 2 weeks. Primarily because I think Jurassic World Evolution 2, there wasn't a substantial enough improvement over the first game. It was too similar to the first game. So really, to me, it was like Evolution 2 is basically the same, so I might as well mod it from the start. That's why I started modding after about 2 weeks. So in reality, I've been playing Jurassic World Evolution 2 for 3 years with so many of these elements. I mean, once Kaya Denick added his terrain tools and his Move It mod, I've basically been playing with kind of semi-modular building already. And it is a good question to ask whether my thoughts on Evolution 3 would be substantially different if I hadn't modded Evolution 2 from the beginning. I think Evolution 3 is still doing some things better than the way mods did. Like, yes, the terrain tools are close to Kyodenics, but they offer a lot more versatility than Kyodenics. So even I have to accept that Frontier has done enough to make this not just Jurassic World Evolution 2, but with mods for everybody. I do think this is not better, but they've done more than what the mods for Evolution 2 have achieved. So even I have to accept that. No improvements to weather. Yeah, it's kind of a disappointment. Little changes to weather or biomes. So far, no new marine species. Yeah, I mean, the roster I've got here lacking in diversity. We'll do an extra thing. No new lagoon animals. I mean, let's be fair, we don't really have any new aviary animals either. We just have a copy-paste Tapejara. Yeah, Righteous Ham, I think it's fair to say that the difference between Evolution 2 and 3 is... Let's actually put this as a positive. So, the gap between E2 and E3 is bigger than the gap between E1 and E2. I don't think you can argue that Evolution 3 is a side grade, like my overall opinion was of Evolution 2, that it's basically a side grade of Evolution 1. It's not really an upgrade. It is a clear upgrade in many respects. Again, I'd say Frontier really loves ceratopsians. Yeah. I think we have too many ceratopsians now, but I partly blame that on Dominion and Fallen Kingdom. How am I today, Luna? I'm doing okay. How are you? Cabot Finch. Oh, no. So Cabot Finch goes in a negative for me. I hate Cabot Finch. Cabot Finch, Dua, Isaac, and who's the other one? I always forget the security run. Lambert. I don't like any of the original characters. I really don't. You hate Butty Finch. I don't like Cabot Finch. He just annoys me. Jeff Goldblum is a positive. I don't think Jeff Goldblum should be doing Jurassic World stuff anymore, or Jurassic stuff in general anymore. Not after Dominion. He should just leave. I heard Evo's favourite dinosaur, the Archaeornithomimus, made it into the game. Oh, don't let her hear you say that. Yes, a Spinosaurus tooth. It was quite cool to see that in the sort of the Din resin. I like the box more, personally. That beautiful Japanese style box. The characters are just kind of there. Yes. No Claire and Owen. I like that. No Claire and Owen. Definitely a positive. Definitely. The Japanese map and Indonesian map look so cool. Again, I haven't seen all of the maps. I will go in the positives. New places in the world. Japan especially, China especially. Guam, not Guam. I'll just leave it to Japan and China because they're the two big ones, I think. But yeah, it's nice to see us going to new places in the world. You think that the fact that the budget was higher for the game was because they didn't pay the celebrities? That's an interesting possibility there, AESR. Frontier removing the AI scientist profile pics as a pro, in my opinion. I don't have an opinion on that, Ninja Hack. Was it bad they were using it? Yes. They were stupid for even doing it in the first place. Is it overwhelmingly fantastic they removed it? No, it just means that they realized how stupid they were being. I think it's just they realized it was stupid and they decided to stop being stupid. Trichlor, I know. Hang on, what was that? The chat just moved. Was Trichlor? I know you hate him because you're actually one of his ex-wives. I just can't prove it yet. Kajira! Goodness me, no. I have much higher standards than that. If you were to buy the game, I think it would be quite interesting to see whether your view changes once you get to play it with more time. That's a good point, Jaden. The very short half an hour that we got at the event really wasn't long enough to build much of an opinion on it. About the only thing I did build an opinion was that the modular building system was implemented in a very clunky way. I agree there, Ali, that hopefully Lagoons and Aviaries will still get improvements and updates, but on release, it's pretty bad that there's nothing good. Oh, hello, Evolution Square. Convinced yet? I think at the moment it's still kind of on the fence at the moment. Fletcher, I heard you really enjoyed Reba. A Tumbleweed. I'll mute you if you carry on. No cleaners yet. I mean, I think we can say no real management in that regards. Kairu, sorry. The undo button. I mean, I think it's a very small positive, but we can put it in there. The undo button. Nice to finally have it. Deinonychus has a good design now. Yeah, I think we can put this as another positives. Some redesigns and some very nice ones. The Deinonychus especially. I think that's how you spell it. Fletcher is the real life Dr. Malcolm. Oh, please. Malcolm has nothing on me. He made a 4-hour video reviewing Evolution 2. Skin viewer in Hatchery, we already have skin preview. I'll just add in Hatchery here. You know. In Hatchery. There we go. I can't really contribute because I am sworn to secrecy, but I'm just on a little break right now, just popping in. Okay, Evolution Square. Don't worry. Negative is old dinosaurs didn't get a skin texture update, unlike newer creatures. I imagine that will probably, hopefully, be something that changes with the reintroduction of the Evolution 2 base game animals. That Well, we should probably put that in here, actually. So I will say it's a positive. Some returning animal, some cut animals returning for free. I think that is a good thing. Simultaneously, though, I have to put in the negative. Some very nice DLC animals remain cut. And I'm going to say prob DLC fodder. I would like to see more photo mode improvements. That is interesting, McNinja Hack. I haven't heard the photo mode mentioned for Jurassic World Evolution 3. I would assume it's the same. Deinonychus is my favourite dino, so I'm glad she's getting a rework. I mean, I think the rework that they've chosen is a really good one. I love the beaver tail that it has going on. Like, one of my biggest concerns about the Deinonychus redesign was that I didn't want it to look too much just like a Utahraptor, but slightly smaller. So I think they've made it look substantially different, which is a good thing. Breeding, hang on. Rose Caddy here does mention a good thing, and a game mechanic thing as well. Breeding does mean death spirals in campaign or challenge mode won't be anywhere near as bad. That is a very good point. I do like a good game mechanic thing. Breeding helps to alleviate death spirals. Death spirals are, if people don't know, death spirals are a serious problem in a lot of games, like City Skylines, JPOG, JWE, where sort of if you don't regularly build animals or more parts of your city, etc., you'll get massive waves of death, which can really disrupt your gameplay and game flow. So the ability to alleviate that is a good mechanical thing. We don't have to spend a lot of money as much to continue replacing stegosaurs now and then. Yeah, true. I still think the Baryonyx from Fallen Kingdom is ugly. Yeah, I fully agree. I hate the Baryonyx film design from Fallen Kingdom. Another thing I blame Universal for. They ruined my favourite dinosaur. Guests sitting on benches. Yeah, we'll put this... See, because I've got over here no guest upgrades. Guests sit on benches. I suppose it's a good one, but I think in the long term, they needed more upgrades than just sitting on benches. In the middle of the chart, I would say they are listening to feedback more than they did in Evolution 2. I don't know about that, personally. Transporting more than one dinosaur at a time is a positive. That's a Jurassic World Evolution 2 thing, so... Oh, you mean with the big crate thing? I suppose that's a positive. You know, we do have some generally new gameplay functionality. So we have like the transport crates, etc. And I think also I'm going to put here as a positive, return to a JWE1, well, return to a non-linear research system. Again, if people don't know what I'm referring to by that, in Evolution 2, your research was very sort of this, then this, then this. In Evolution 1, you had quite a free choice. From what I've seen of Evolution 3, you have more choice than Evolution 2 in terms of where you go with your research, so I think that's a good thing. This one guy on Reddit He said it's 70% better than 2. Based on what he said, it seems to be better optimized, maybe. We've already done modular building and workshops, Smaug. They're both sort of in the middle of neutral to positive. Each biome comes now with its own set of food plants. Does it? I wasn't aware of that one. That's a positive, because one of the biggest problems I had about the paleobotany was it just looked weird trying to put some of these plants in certain environments. The research system in 2 was just about the worst version of that I've ever seen represented as a mechanic. I agree, Righteous Ham. Abandoning past-gen consoles was a good move. Gajira. I mean, yeah, those old-gen consoles had to be decommissioned at some point. It's nice to see it finally happening. Better opening screen and music? Real Smaug, I can't really judge that. I would say that when I was playing Evolution 3... I didn't think the music had changed that much, which I thought was not a good thing, so... But yeah, again, I can't judge things I haven't seen, Real Smaug. But natural fencing and enclosing via terrain tools, that is a good thing. I mean, we've said terrain tools are a big improvement, but we'll add it as a separate point. Terrain being used as defense, essentially. That is a good thing. I don't want any of the have dinosaur win fights to unlock more in research. I think something I'm going to put in the neutral, actually, that I noticed during my gameplay was... some building pieces locked behind campaign progress. Now, I only saw it with a few statues, but they were locked behind your campaign progress. Which, I know some people don't like having to play campaign to unlock stuff for sandbox. I think it's both a good thing and a bad thing, personally. See, Righteous Ham, this is where sort of... I think me and a lot of the audience for this game change, because I want a good campaign experience. Like, I want the challenge. Playing sandbox is okay, but I like having some degree of challenge to it. So I'm glad that some stuff is locked behind doing stuff in campaign to make people play campaign mode. Planet Zoo has the same. Oh, I didn't realize that. Ah, the rock brush. I mean, that is still in terrain tools. I personally don't like the rock brush. I think it's a little hideous. I think it overdoes it. Like, sometimes it's just like, this doesn't look natural. It just looks like a quarry. And I don't want it to look like a quarry. As a big Zoo Tycoon 2 player and fan, the challenge mode rewards being statues and unlocked via any difficulty and not skins is both better at large and good nostalgia. Agreed. Bro, I swear modular building is going to make me only play the game for 2 weeks since I'm ass at building. This is why the modular building is like a halfway thing for me. But again, that half an hour long session that I had to try the game just didn't give me enough time to really properly try to use the modular building system. But again, it's a feature I can't really determine. I think it's clunkily implemented. Fletcher nagging about rocks. Best in slot will hate that. Wow. I don't particularly care if he does. If folks aren't already aware, I'm not a particular fan of Best in Slot anyway. I had a bit of a confrontation with him about Evolution 1 back in the day after it launched, and yeah, I'm not a particular massive fan of him anyway, so... I really like the no terrain building constraints regarding water. Yeah, I mean, that's an aspect of the modular building system. You know, you can't have a modular building system and terrain constraints. Natural paths and better customization paths overall. Evo is like path, blue path. I can imagine she's going to come up with some amazing plaza designs. The artwork is going to be extraordinary. She will regain her... I feel like Evo's become known for being the rock lady in recent years. So I think this game will be her becoming the true path master again, I think. Breeding is controllable and isn't chaos like Zoo Tycoon with the Fennec Fox. I do know what you mean there, AESR. The Fennec Foxes bred like rabbits. They were terrible. There is lore between Trichlor and Piss. It's not really lore. I just had a difference of opinion with him. You know, that's all. Didn't you mention that trying to make a waterfall was finicky? Yeah, but that just could be because it needs to be adjusted a little bit. I'm not going to say I'm not going to downgrade waterfalls just because they are finicky to do. You know, there are lots of aspects of why it was finicky. Maybe I was doing it wrong. Maybe it was a wrong place for them. I'm going to leave it as still positive. I'm not going to criticize them for being difficult to do yet. I still have PTSD from the Fennec Foxes. It's the noises they made as well. Do you remember the moving log? No, Luna. The black market returning? Yeah, actually, we can put that in... we can put that in more gameplay functionality. So, the black market... I don't like the fact they call it a black market, because I feel like they should just call it the marketplace. Like we used to have on JPOG, where you had the fossil shop. I feel so left out I pre-ordered the Steam version and not the physical. Well, yes. It's kind of funny. I feel like Evolution 3 has kind of been plagued by leaks. Like footage that was leaked by that German website. And I kind of feel it's in line with how things have gone, that the PlayStation physical copies have been released when they shouldn't have been, or earlier than they should have been. Beaver mentioned in his video that you have to do the water at the bottom first, then it will create waterfalls at the top. That's strange, because in some of their gameplay, they've shown it as it working the other way round. Hello sometimes, and we're just trying to decide whether I will get Evolution 3 or not. That's what we're doing. Did you experience the herding mechanic? No, James Bradley. I mean, I did experience all of my Diplodocus being stuck in a ball for the entire gameplay session. They were sort of phased within each other, and they were just kind of stuck together for the entire half hour, which I don't think is supposed to happen. I did experience some bugs during that gameplay, but again, that's an alpha build of the game, and I can't really place them on here anywhere. But my flying Chronosaurus was pretty funny. I wish I had been able to record or take photos of it. I'm trying to think if there's anything obvious that we haven't mentioned yet. We need more attractions like the gliders, gondola, and water parks. Yeah, but I suppose now you can build all those things in modular building. They won't work, but they can be there as placeable scenery, can't they? Apparently the console build limit is better than Planet Zoo. That's good for console builders. I think we're all good, says James stopped by. We've still got at least like another hour. Oh! Hyperloopers transport. I'm so glad that it's now a proper transport option as opposed to, you know, having to make those lovely power plants look nice. Fletcher, would you like a redesign for baryonyx? But based on the website design. I would be fully in favor of that. Unfortunately, I don't think baryonyx will ever get that officially because I just think Universal won't let them. The poll is 92% for at the moment, but again, like I say, it's this discussion and this mind map which matter more to me. What is my opinion on the 10th map? I haven't seen the 10th map, King Giga. You keep going on about this. Let me bring up my Discord and have a look. Oh. Ooh. Really? That's the 10th map? Of all the places, that's the 10th map? Oh, I don't like that. I really don't like that. Where the Ooh. Ooh. Of all the places in the world, that's the one they picked. Fucking that place. Fuck off. A steam trains instead of a monorail. Yeah, something less monorail-y would be nice. As a negative, I heard there isn't a custom challenge mode at launch. See, I was never a big fan of challenge mode in Evolution 1. Evolution 2's challenge mode I actually thought was pretty good, but again, I didn't really play it that much. Yeah, that map is a choice. It's a bad choice. I mean, come on. Where the hell is Isla Nublar? Frankly. Of all of the places you could choose, you want to make that location the special one? Get stuffed. Oh, a big positive. You only have to do easy to unlock the statues in campaign via the leaks. I'll put it down here because it's still in with this sort of aspect. You have to play in easy. Isla Nublar was destroyed. Well, that's a good point, Gajira, but, you know, there are other places that could have been picked. Sanctuary Island, for example. Why did it have to be that place? The JWE3 maps are returning. Well, some are returning, not all of them. And I think we've already got that on here somewhere. Is modular building a positive or neutral? It's in the middle of positive and neutral. It's one that requires time to determine. Same as the Frontier Workshop. At this very early stage in game development, these are two things we can't judge until more time has been had. I spent a few hundred hours on challenge mode in both games, and I really love the custom ones and JPOG style progression. Yeah, I mean, that is something we should put in here, in the positives. Something I did notice. Sandbox options are all there on launch. We don't have to wait, what was it, 2.5 years to get unlimited feeders in the flippin' sandbox options? Honestly, Evolution 2 made some really wacky choices, which I still don't understand. Oh, the day that the D-Rex and the Mutadons come to Evolution 3 will be a day I don't take note of, because I will never buy them. Or rather, depending on how they come to the game, if it's like an expansion that actually has other worthwhile stuff, then maybe, but like if it's just an animal pack and here's your D-Rex and Mutadon, ugh. I'll never use them in a park build, even if I get a pack with them in. I will never, ever use them. I would rather use the hybrids before I use those monstrosities. A flippin' beluga whale T-Rex and a discount dragon that even an incestuous Valerian wouldn't go for. Excuse the language, but never forget they didn't add kelp until the end of the game. Yeah, exactly, AESR. The Jurassic World Evolution 2's choices were very weird. That being said, I didn't see kelp in Evolution 3, but I didn't have much time to look through all of the plant options. So, it could be there, it could not be there. I don't know. I purchased Evolution 2 about 1.5 years into its life. I was simply not satisfied with where the game was before that. Totally Totally think that was the better thing to do, Righteous Ham. I very much regretted buying it on day one, because the day one experience coloured my opinion from then on, because it was such a bad day one experience. Prehistoric Dragon or a Rathalos mod on the Mutadon rig would go kind of hard. Maybe. The fact JPOG is still used as an ideal example with different points being raised as ways we can improve Evolution 3 is crazy. It is, but it points out that there are some aspects of JPOG that are, I think, still very good. The amount of feedback you get from the game about your guests, about the dinosaurs, you know, something as simple as being able to hold down spacebar and see if all of your dinosaurs were happy and if all of your guests were happy at a glance was such a good quality of life feature. Modular building should have forced Frontier to get the piece limit bug in order. Yeah, I hope so. Again, optimization is one of those that was on my list of 5 things they would have to do. And I don't think we can... At the present time, I don't think the game's out enough for us to be able to know that for sure. I never purchased the first game. I doubt I'd bought the second if I had. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I hadn't purchased the first game myself. And just started with the second. Would you say purchasing Evolution 2 is now worth it if you never had to wait for features like Kelp or Unlimited Feeders? Ooh. Where Evolution 2 ended up was definitely better than where it started. But I would say that I think if you haven't played Evolution 1 or 2, you're probably better off just starting with 3. Even if Evolution 2, I think, has some good things still going for it. Will the campaign be good or bad? Really haven't talked about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad there is a campaign, but whether it's good or not, that's an interesting question. Hello, Taylor. I'm doing okay. How are you doing? As a Canadian, I think the Canada map could be improved. Yeah, some of the maps, like their Great Britain map, doesn't really look like Great Britain. JWE3 was great with mods. Yes, I agree that Evolution 2 with mods was superior to Evolution 1 or Evolution 2 without them. Evolution 3 might be the one game I play without mods for quite a while. If I do indeed get it. Sauropods not being able to fight back. That's a good point to put in the negatives. Sauropods still can't fight back. I don't think hadrosaurs can either. Again, the game is not really designed for you to deliberately have that happen, but I think the fact that sauropods are so defenseless is just so bizarre. It's just, you know, limiting the behavior that they could have. And their behaviors are already limited. The malevolent tornado. I loved the tornadoes in JPOG though, because they actually felt destructive. In Evolution 1 and 2, tornadoes were just kind of annoying. If I get it, points Pitchfork. Like I say, there's no fake Jeopardy here. Whether I buy it or not is literally going to be the determination of all the conversation we're having and this flowchart. And it's not going to be a case of like I'm going to leave this stream and then go and get it. It will be like, I'm going to leave the stream, I'm going to play D&D, going to sleep on it, come back to it tomorrow, and I will determine. Because, you know, the pre-orders won't shut until literally the minute it launches anyway. Hadrosaurs on Ornithomimid still can't fight back. Hello, TC. Have you seen Primal? No, I have not. Sauropods do deserve better. They really do. Baby-parent interactions and needs from a management perspective. So, we've put babies, I think, in the middle, because I don't think they've done enough with the babies, personally. I think there needs to be more work with them. And they're limited in animations again, which is a disappointment. Oh, no, you do realise we want a watch Fletcher pre-order it on Steam to ensure he definitely buys it stream, don't you? If I do it, I'll make sure there's a community post about it. I feel like the workshop is going to be so ass, since if anyone can make anything, they will make anything. Yeah, so I think I saw on Reddit the other day, like a meme someone had made about Frontier looking at the workshop on day one and seeing a bunch of penis-shaped buildings, and this is what I mean about I hope it's moderated so that the obvious crap is not on there. I've never really liked the Apatosaurus design that Jurassic World came up with. I think it's very bland and very boring. I mean, that is something I've had a problem with since Evolution 1, is that I think some of the dinosaur designs need to be zhuzhed up. Ankylosaurs, stegosaurs, sauropods, their skins always seem rather bland to me, and I think they could do with something that's a bit better. It's why I liked the Alamosaurus so much, and the Amargasaurus, because they actually looked good. No, they don't. I think it's already been confirmed they just become adults. Havoc. Oh yeah, some people can be very juvenile. I would love to see a lot of prehistoric park style recreations. I suspect that the first sort of things people are going to want to build in modular building are those recreations. We're going to see prehistoric park stuff, JPOG stuff, film stuff. Because I think those are some general things. I've already got a few projects in mind myself. Again, if I get it. I have been thinking quite far in ahead. I hope Carcharodontosaurus comes back with a redesign myself, Havoc. Prehistoric park, yes. That was still one of that was like, apart from, so here's a funny thing. The video I did all the way in, I think is April this year, where I reviewed Prehistoric Park retrospectively, was the highest watched video on this channel until I did that roster video on Wednesday, and that has become the highest watched all year. Which is even funnier, thinking that that video then became kind of half outdated because of the announcements that were then made. Just a very interesting happening. I think if I did get it, I would have to build some triclaw related stuff in modular building for sure. I'm so bad at building, proceeds to build a perfect one-to-one anatomically correct penis. Probably. TC Diablo says he thinks the Acrocanthosaurus needs a redesign. I like the Acro. My only issue with it is the posture. It just needs to be... change the posture slightly. I'm trying to think, is there any obvious features that we do not have on here? We got the balloon tour, the canoe ride, the petting zoo. I suppose something that we shouldn't ignore is some build. I'm going to put this in capitals. Some buildings have a lot of prefabs available. It's not every building. Not every building has 6. Some buildings only have a couple. Some only have 1, from what I saw. What is my favorite species from Prehistoric Park? That is easy. The Arthroplura. Arthroplura is one of my most loved of all prehistoric creatures. Just because I would love to have one. I've always loved insects and creepy crawlies. I used to have African land snails as I was a kid. So I think a giant millipede is just mega cool, personally. Custom challenge mode is missing. It's not. I don't really care about custom challenge, to be honest. Given that this is a list of things I care about, custom challenge doesn't really factor in for me. The big fugly centipede. Yes, I like that big fugly centipede. I hope they do, Chad. I'm hoping, because that's Tim Haynes' new thing, isn't it? Anything more obvious? I mean, I suppose another positive would be the various building styles. These are very nice. Can't be denied. But no different fence styles. That is definitely a downside to me. No different fencing. Where I'm going to put that with no low fences. That should be over here. Some babies look very basic. Yeah, I mean, that's why babies and breeding are in the neutral, because I think it's not been implemented in that great of a way. We don't have to do challenge mode to have all the skins for the dinos. Suppose we can put that in positive. No forced unlocks of skins. Yeah, that's something I will think is positive. No real expansion to skin system. I really wanted some changes made, but they haven't made any. Basically, the skin system's the same as it is in Evolution 2. It's a shame that we don't have, say, the option to choose between several different types of pattern. We only, again, have the one pattern. Some animals are still just skin choices are not variants, so that's definitely a downside. We don't need low fences with invisible fences and modular building. Totally disagree, McNinja Hack. You want to build a low fence with modular building as opposed to having it in a spline system like we do now where you just click and drag? I think we definitely 100% need low fencing. Low fencing is not just about dinosaurs, it's about, you know, bordering paths and stuff. And it definitely should be a system like Hyadenic implemented. Don't know if you don't care about this, but Frontier variants don't seem to have their own baby models. Really? So the Frontier Iguanodon doesn't breed? Yes, Frontier babies do have their own models. Once you build it once, you can move it on a spline you can in Planet C. Yeah, but what I mean, James, is that's still using the modular building system, isn't it? It's a lot easier to just click on a fence type and click and drag like we do with paths and fencing now. Like, you don't have to copy and paste the same element a number of times just to build the fence up. That's what I mean. They breed, but they don't have distinct models. I mean, again, I think that's why babies and breedings are neutral. Someone on Reddit confirmed this. Frontier Giga gives birth to a Dominion baby. God, I could imagine that would really screw up the Giga. It'd just be like, my wife has been having an affair, clearly. Yeah, but James, again, you're still going to have to copy and paste the same element over and over again to build the fence, aren't you? As opposed to doing it like you build fencing now. I don't think you're understanding what I mean about one method is obviously a hell of a lot easier than doing it the modular building way. Are you going to make a review on Dinosauria? I haven't watched Dinosauria, so probably no. Do we know if storms can damage modular buildings? I would assume they do, but I would assume that the damage they do is like the same as normal buildings? Archaeornithomimus needs a new design. Well, we have Ornithomimus now, so Archaeornithomimus isn't necessary. It's going to be one of those dead on arrival species. I mean, I put roster lacking diversity in neutral, but I'm almost tempted to say I'm more towards the negative on the roster than neutral. I think the roster that we have right now is bad in some ways. Roster is only lacking now, eventually it won't be. Yeah, that's why I put will be better once we get all the freebies, and it will be better after DLC, but that, again, if I'm thinking about whether I'm going to buy the game now, obviously the base roster it has now is a factor, and the base roster is kind of naff. I do think it's something, I don't think it's a negative or a positive, but I am going to put it in a sort of a neutral, is like, we've got these new places in the world to build parks in, but we don't have any associated dinosaurs. Like, we have Japan Park now, but we don't have any species from Japan to put in it, which I think is strange. It's like building a park in America and not having any American species to put in it. It is... We wouldn't need all of them, just one would have done. You know, Fuki Raptor is an obvious choice. Rather Fuki Raptor than Atrociraptor. Screw Atrociraptor. James, top boy, No. Look, I get that some of the Chinese stegosaurs had to go. But why... How dare they keep 2 of them and get rid of 1? I think we should have had 1. Pick 1. Keeping Chungking and Gigant Spino, Hwango has superior skins to both of them. Fletcher, what is your favourite dinosaur from the new roster? From the new animals? Like the 100% new ones? Probably Lokiceratops. I think out of them all, I think the Lokiceratops is the best. Guanlong is okay, but I think if they were going to put Guanlong into the game anyway, they should have got rid of Proceratosaurus. Lokiceratops is like now one of the best ceratopsians in the game. Plateosaurus will come in the last DLC. I can't believe we still don't have Plateosaurus. It's so weird. Maybe I should still go and protest outside Frontier's headquarters, but instead of protesting Hwango being cut, I should like comment on the fact that they still don't have Plateosaurus in the game yet. No, McNinja Hack. It's been confirmed that Deluxe Edition animals are not considered base game. So Hwango, Pachyrhino, and Megalo are still cut. Put on the negative points, no Plateo. Well, I mean, I've got roster lacking diversity. That's, well, actually, no, I do think that's, it's fair to say, still limited Triassic and Jurassic representation. I think that's still fair to say. Like, the roster is still overwhelmingly Cretaceous. My favorite Triassic species. It probably is Plateosaurus or maybe Tanystropheus. Tanystropheus is one animal I think I would like to see come to either the lagoons or the deep water system. Gasosaurus should be here. Gasosaurus is one of the laziest named of all animals. I think some of the steel cut animals will return. I don't think all of them will. Personally, I don't think Draco Rex should return, but it is. I don't think Archaeornithomimus should have returned, but it is. Will Lux skins return for the Para? I don't think anyone's mentioned the Lux skins for the Para. I mean, I know we've got Lux skin on the Moser, don't we? Which won't make that ugly thing any nicer. This is off topic, but do you think they should add Cenozoics? I think I've done a couple of videos about that some time ago for Jurassic World Evolution too. I don't think I would be in support of Cenozoics coming to the game unless it was more than just animals. Like, if they did a Cenozoic expansion with, like, I don't know, a map in a really snowy place and brought a bunch of Ice Age related, like, decorations and stuff, like, came up with some build sets that were, like, rustic or caveman style, then yes. But if it's just here's 3 or 4 animals that happen to come from the Ice Age, then I wouldn't be for that, because then it just wouldn't suit the overall aesthetic. And I agree, Kyra. I think Dimetrodon should have Lux. Am I the only one? This is off topic. Am I the only one that thinks it's weird that Dimetrodon is a swimmer? Like, I know it's because of Dominion, but even in Dominion, I thought it was a weird choice. The fact that they've made Dimetrodon, like, semi-aquatic is such a weird thing to have done. Like, there's absolutely no evidence that it had a lifestyle like that. If anything, it's probably completely again. I feel like the only reason it's been made semi-aquatic is because it has a sail on its back, like Spinosaurus. Like, I feel like Universal doesn't understand that being a having a semi-aquatic lifestyle means more than just happening to have a similar body element. It's the same reason why Pyroraptor is semi-aquatic. I really hated the Pyroraptor scene in Dominion. So silly. I still can't believe that Dinocaris is cut. I just don't believe it. Like, the duck. Honestly, the Dinocaris being still cut is the clearest example for me of species having been cut just because they know people are going to buy them. Dinocaris is one of those that I think this is clearly Frontier just scalping the player base for cash. I agree, Kairu. I would prefer a Gorgonopsid to a Smilodon. But I think, I mean, given the closeness of body plan, you could probably do them both quite easily. Frontier trying to be EA Sports. Yeah, I had someone in my comment section say, oh, Frontier isn't like EA. And I'm like, they're literally reselling us back Thanatos Dracon and Concavenator. Like, have you just missed that they're yet again selling us stuff back? So that begs a question, when is Evolution 4 coming out? I hope never. I actually hope this is the last Evolution game. I know that's a weird thing for me to say, but number one, I think Evolution 3... I think this is probably a positive point, actually. I think unlike all of the other Evolution games, I think Evolution 3 has the strongest foundation for a period of long-term support. You know, not just the sort of 2.5, 3 years that we normally get, but for as long as Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo have. Obviously, the question comes with that, then how much DLC is too much DLC, and that's a kind of different topic to have a conversation about at another time. But Evolution 3 has the capacity to be supported for a long period of time, which means the gap between the launch game and the end game is probably going to be even bigger for this game than it was with Evolution 2 or Evolution 1. But yeah, I honestly think this should be the last. I think I want to see other companies have the option of making Jurassic games. Like, I'm very glad that we're getting Survivor. And I will definitely be playing that because I love the idea of a Alien Isolation style game set in the Jurassic Park universe. I think that's a great idea. But when it comes to park builders, I think it's time Frontier step aside and let somebody else have a go at it after Evolution 3. That's just my opinion. Not to mention, like, thinking about Evolution 3, like, they kind of added all the big features we wanted straight away. Like, oh, we're doing the babies and the modular building, and here's all these lovely attractions. Like, literally all of the oh, here's an island generator too. All of the features people most asked for, they've done all at once. So I'm not sure what an Evolution 4 could legitimately do to be even better than that. Like, I don't know, combine it with Planet Coaster? Beyond adding animals from new time periods, which I don't think are enough to sell a game on their own, I don't think there are any, like, huge, massive improvements that could sell a new game, like modular building can or babies can. I'd hate to lose certain species from the original DLC roster. To me, Tarbosaurus had better skins than the T-Rex. It did. And losing Werho, Megalo, and Minmai would be a sin all round. Custom hybrids. That is one possible thing that could sell a fourth game. Custom hybrids, maybe. I think that's like the only feature people ask for that hasn't been done yet. Not that I think you could ever do it. I think it would be so difficult to do. But it might be some form of custom hybridization system might be enough for a JWE4. The only thing I want is to recreate my own dinosaur ecosystem. That's fair, Big Havoc. I just have a problem with people who just want to play a game like this just to build ecosystems, because I'm like, that's not really what the game is for. You're supposed to build a park, not an ecosystem. And arguably, I still think the game doesn't work very well as an ecosystem. Because the carnivores still kill everything without needing to eat. And that means you can't really have a natural recovery of prey species, because obviously the carnivores will kill them at a too fast a rate. So again, I don't think the game really works very well as a natural ecosystem reproducer. Especially not when certain animals can't even fight back. Yeah, exactly. A custom hybrid system would have to be watered down. My favorite depiction of Allosaurus, probably walking with dinosaurs, is. The need for main mods is significantly decreased. I agree. I still want to see Kyodenics fences come to the game. And maybe a few other general elements, but modular building has definitely removed a lot of the need for mods. We just have to, build stuff ourselves or wait for people to build it. See, I feel that people glorify the Site B mode, Big Havoc, for JPOG, but as someone who played JPOG for many, many years, originally, the Site B mode wasn't very good. I think people have a rose-tinted perspective of it. Mostly because people haven't, not many people have played JPOG because you can't really get it easily now. Okay, chat, thank you for tuning in. Sleep well. The pre-order bonus will be available post-launch for a price. Is that worth adding to neutral? Actually, it's something we can talk about. What do we think of the actual pre-order bonus and deluxe editions? Let's make a couple of things. So, deluxe edition, and then pre-order bonus. So, I might have actually go into my folders here of stuff and actually look at what these were. Jurassic World Evolution 3, media, images. Okay, so the deluxe edition is obviously the 4 animals, 2 of which are reselling back to us, so let's discount the 2 resells. Protoceratops and Guanlong. They're okay dinosaurs. Nothing spectacular as far as I'm concerned. We get 3 skins for the all-terrain vehicle, which is nice. I hope they're good. We only see 1 of them. And we get a bunch of scenery items in a nice fountain, a T-Rex statue, but we get 53 different scenery items. I certainly think the scenery item part is better than the dinosaur part, so I'm going to put the deluxe edition as a neutral. It's a neutral thing. The pre-order bonus is... Oh, and the Mosasaur skin, but I don't use Mosasaurus anyway because I don't like it. And the pre-order bonus is just the Badlands set. So, an ATV skin, some scenery items, and some scenery blueprints. I don't think the pre-order bonus is very good, if I'm honest. I'm going to put the pre-order bonus in negative. I think the pre-order bonuses for the Evolution games have always sucked. Like, if you look at Planet Zoo, like, their pre-order bonus was... I think they got early access to the game, and they got access to the soundtrack, and a bunch of other stuff. Like, I think the pre-order bonus is not particularly exciting. The deluxe edition was made cheaper if you have JWE3 on your console. Was it? I don't think it was. I'm actually going to check that. Where is my... Let's load up Steam. So, let's go to Store and look up Jurassic World Evolution 3. Sorry about that. So, so for me, pre-purchase, the standard version is £50, and the deluxe edition is £65. Which is not any cheaper. Evo did a video on it. I paid 50 instead of 60 because I had JWE1 and 2 on my PS5. Maybe the discount applies when it's in your... when you actually go to pay then. Because it's not any different to me on the store page. So it might be something that applies only after you actually like go to buy it. I'm going to put something in the negative, which people probably won't necessarily agree with me. Obviously, as a game, the modular building slows everything down. So, if you are building like a sandbox park, yes, you could just use blueprints, but it's not as easy as just picking it up and plonking it down. There's still a lot you have to do, even with blueprints, to make sure they fit and work properly. So, I think the gameplay will be slower. I think streams might have to be longer to account for the time it takes the game to do the modular building and everything. I can't think of anything else. Console streamers are crying. I can imagine building modular building on consoles is pretty difficult. So here is the thing. In the last 15 minutes, obviously they haven't done the 5 things that I wanted them to do to make me buy it. These were the 5 things that I wanted them to do. It's cheaper on console and applied in PlayStation Store. Okay, well, I'll see what happens, but... or rather, I'll look up what happens on Steam. I'll be very annoyed if they're giving people on console a discount but not on PC. That seems entirely unfair. So these were the 5 things I wanted them to do, but they didn't do all of them. They haven't done 2 of them. One of them is unknown, 2 of them are kind of very half-assed. So the question is, does everything over here outweigh everything over here and this bit in the middle? Do these bits outweigh these bits and this bit in the middle? Just looking at the real big ones, so you know, these big ones here, and then looking over here at these big red ones here. To me personally, there are some of these that are really important. The lagoons are just, it's such a big one for me that the lagoons have gone backwards. I mean, the lagoons are basically dead on arrival again, which really sucks. Or we follow him around and prod him with a stick. James, you don't prod British people with sticks. They have a tendency to respond unhappily. The red still kind of outweighs the green. Yeah, these big red ones I think outweigh these ones. I mean, I think maybe not necessarily all of them, but these big red ones are definitely this big red one and this big red one are very big for me. Don't modular rocks help the lagoons? Well, not really. That's not a lagoon improvement because the modular building system applies to the whole game. I mean lagoon improvements that are specific to the lagoons, and they don't have anything specific to the lagoons. Yeah, and the animals are extremely weak for the lagoons. I am so going to, you know, miss Archelon and Nodo if I get it. Like, because I don't really like you relying on animals that just are the shark eaters. Chrono is probably my favorite, or Dunk out of the 4 or 5. What did Beaver say about the guests? Because I don't watch Beaver. What does the future look like for the game? Well, that's something we can't determine. All I can say is that I think it has a strong foundation for prolonged support, but whatever happens in the future, we have to wait and see. No new animal behaviors is a red for me. Yeah, I suppose that is quite a big one. But then I would say being able to build parks in other parts of the world is a big one here, as is the canoe tour and balloon tour. I think they're big ones. We need to save this so in a year's time we can come back to it. That's a good idea, McNinja Hack. I mean, I will keep this around. I mean, I still have the old... Since we are in the last few minutes, let's... This might interest you folks. So, let's make sure that's saved. It's saved. You get to see all the stuff I do on here. Here, this was the last stream we did where we wanted to go over things we wanted Evolution 3 to do. And it's interesting to see where the things have occurred and where they have not occurred. Aviary paths and caged walkways we still don't have. Variable heights for paths, lagoon options, plant feeders back, meat-eating animals need to have new things. We got modular building. We did get some unique building sets. More effects from disasters, better guest management. A campaign, we did get the campaign. Dinosaur behavior. Deep water, we did get deep water. Skin system changes, we didn't really get. Some of these we got, some we didn't. What was down here? Remove last generation versions we did get. It's interesting to note, just like when we were planning out what we wanted, where the game has actually done and not done elements. More staff varieties or more jobs to do. Maintenance. We got maintenance. We still didn't get a tour for the lagoons. That's another big negative for me. Still no tour for the lagoons. Like, why? They built it. They built around it to look good, but the support beam of the game is still lacking, meaning, yeah, it's an improvement, but the lacking core of the game will show up eventually. Yeah, AESR. I suppose that's the thing. It's the... What is it Best in Slot said? Like, the only thing I actually agree with him about, or one of the things that he said, which I do think is a really good quote, is that the game... Jurassic World Evolution 2 was constantly banging its head on the glass ceiling of its own gameplay systems. I suspect Evolution 3 is still going to have that problem because the core gameplay mechanics are still built around the very limited management and the limited staff system and such. And I think there was actually another one that came slightly later as well. Which was this one. Oh, this was just picking some general improvements. So animal enrichment, pterosaur specific stuff, placeable exhibits, behaviors. Animals we don't want back. We're getting all of them back. That's a shame. What do we have here? Oh, the Protoceratops, Psittacosaurus, Ornithomimus feathered. We got that. Animals we don't want to return: Myosaura, Deinonychus, Chungking, Gigant, Spinoarchaea, Ornithomimus, Dracorex, Centausaurus. All of them came back. It's like they did that deliberately, man. All of them came back. Jurassic World Evolution 3 is like a new car without an engine. JWE3 is an attempt on improved game without actually fixing or improving a lot of the key points and just adding new stuff to make it look like a shiny new toy. Well, obviously I won't know until I play it to respond to that. Maya is acceptable because of the babies. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it was obvious if we were going to have babies, Myosaura is one of those species that we were always going to have. Oh, I think Canva has just broken on me. Canva has been... Ever since Canva added a bunch of new AI stuff, it keeps breaking. Typical, really. We have no lagoon rocks. That kind of affects the ability for us all to get Hesperionis and Tanystropheus. So the general theory at the moment is that those animals that use the lagoon rocks, it's been cut deliberately so that they can find a way to make it work with the new systems. I'm not convinced on that, but we'll see. The Evolution series is like iPhones. At this point, wait until you see it's an actual update. Yeah, so, like I say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, after this stream, go away, gonna sleep on it, gonna come back to this, might even re-watch the stream, look through everyone's comments, and think very carefully. Seeing it all written down like this does help, for sure. It's just some of these negatives are so big. I am surprised there are so many positives. That does surprise me. There's a lot more in there than I thought there would be. But there's a lot more that are in neutral than I thought there would be as well. Before the stream ends, is there anything we want to move? We got, what, 3 or 4 minutes or so? I imagine this new graph will be vastly different in a year's time. My prediction will be more negatives and neutral will be moved than positives. Cabot needs his own category. No. Cabot is hateful. I hate Cabot. Have you decided? No, like I say, I'm not going to decide now. I'm gonna go off and do my D&D session tonight and sleep on this and come back to it tomorrow and have a look through and decide tomorrow. Because again, it's also a lot of money. 65 quid is a lot of money. So I'm going to stop the music since we're coming up to the end of the stream anyway. So yeah, 65 quid is a lot of money, and cost does factor into it. So I have to have a very careful think. But I think this discussion's been useful for me. You know, seeing it all laid out like this, I think it's been useful, and it's been nice to get your inputs and to talk about stuff as well. I hope, if I do get the game, I hope the streams are as active as this one has been. Because I'll be honest, Jurassic World Evolution 2 barely helped the channel at all to grow, so yeah, I mean, we might get some reviews tomorrow as well, which that might also help me come to an opinion. So yeah, I shall have a careful think about it. But anyway, I want to thank I'm not offline. Canva's just broken, you stupid thing. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. It's been very active. A lot more people here than I thought there would have been. Do remember to give the stream a like just to help us with the algorithm, and subscribe if you're new to the channel for more content from all of us at Triclaw Gaming. maybe Jurassic World Evolution 3 content. If not, definitely more Jurassic World Evolution 2 content. But yes, as Gajira says, I'm going to go on a deep spiritual journey and disappear into a Shaolin temple deep in the mountains and become a monk to achieve enlightenment in order to figure out whether to get this or not. Because I am still torn. I think even if I do get it, I think I will have to do a video at some point after I buy it to explain why I did, even though it didn't do the 5 things I wanted it to. I'll have to justify myself, I think, but yeah, that's possibly for the future. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going to leave it there. Go and get to D&D. I hope the rest of you enjoy the rest of your Sunday evenings. Stay safe and good night.